Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Right Time, a Wave Sports and Entertainment original presented by Prize Picks. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. We are here in Red Hook, Brooklyn. We're doing things a little different. This is no longer my house. We're on the set of 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. This is the second half of 7 p.m. is the right time. See? All right. You know who's with me. Kid Mero on this side.
It's your boy.
Carmelo Anthony on the other side.
Peace.
All right, so you can check the first half of the episode on all the channels for 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Go ahead and check that out. We're going to get to rolling here. I got these guys here, and on our show, we don't talk about these things as much. So I figure playoffs are coming up, right? The regular season is now just ended. What's up with the Knicks, fellas?
Hey,
what's going on?
What's going on?
Like, this is the first time in my life I've seen a Knicks fan look this genuinely happy.
You clocked that shit. I said, hey, hold on a second. Let me get situated. Let me get ready to talk my shit real quick for the one time. Hey, look, Bo, you said it, bro. For the longest time, as Knicks fans, we've been I don't want to say delusional, you know what I'm saying? Because that's foul, you know what I mean? Because like we was talking about on the first half, everybody in the NBA is talented, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but it's just about putting a team together, and the Knicks finally have the right people together. It's not about who's the nicest and who's this and who's that, even though Jalen Brunson's been getting downplayed all year. You know what I'm saying? I'm just come on. I'm just saying. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? But they got the right pieces. And we talked about that shit with the Clippers on 7 p.m. Like, you can have the nicest guys. If they don't gel, you know what I mean? It's not going to work. And the Knicks are gelling. They got the next man up situation going. You know what I'm saying? You see, I'm doing this with my fingers, man. I'm Tom Thibodeau got everybody buying into defense, playing hard defense. You got OG Anunoby coming over from the Raptors. Excellent trade. You know, a lot of Knicks fans was mad that we gave him Quick and RJ, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We caught a little slack for calling them blame, man, you know what I'm saying? But hey, the team is looking solid. And that's why, as a Knicks fan, I'm letting my nuts hang. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we out here. We are dangerous, and don't nobody want to see the Knicks in the playoffs. And I'm saying we, yes.
Let me tell you why I have come to love Knicks fans since I got here, right? Because when you don't live here, man, and also I guess it's different too, because when I was growing up, the Knicks were good, right? The Knicks were getting to the finals. I used to root for them, like going against the Bulls, like rooting for Mike. Everybody was rooting for Mike, right? Like, I liked the way the Knicks got down. I remember that fight at Chicago Stadium in 92. I loved that game. Like, you know, my brother was a big Ewing fan because they were Georgetown fans. So, like, I rock with the Knicks, and I didn't realize all the heartbreak that was just looming around the corner for y'all. I didn't realize all the heartbreak that y'all had endured beforehand. I just missed, I missed the point. I didn't get it. And then y'all got to be annoying because y'all would take any glimmer of hope and turn it into something. But now I realize y'all were just wide-eyed optimists. Yes. I used to think y'all were delusional. But the truth is, y'all were just rose-colored glasses.
Hey, bro, that's it. We were just taking hope and re-rocking it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, blowing that shit up. You know what I mean? Yo, we got a 1/4 ounce of hope. We gonna make that shit into a whole brick of hope, bro. Like, we gotta make it happen.
However way we make it happen, though. However way it happens, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
But I'll tell you what happened to me, though, once I got to the city, and when I would walk around and people would recognize me, because that was really, like, when I was in Miami, people might recognize me, but I'm not physically in the street every day walking around, right? And they don't speak as much English in Miami, if we're being perfectly honest, right? It's just not as many people that's gonna talk to me, right? Like, look, man, you know how this goes. I'm safe in Ubers in this city. You know what I mean? They don't know me there, right? Miami, it's on the street, they don't really know me. But here, people would stop, and it would always be dudes, and they'd come up to me, and you could feel, like, the heart in it. And they'd just be like, so you think the Knicks might be good this year? And they really just wanted me to tell them that the Knicks were going to be good.
Give them something, Bo.
And I was trying, dog. Like, I mean, I got here at 17, man. What the fuck was I going to tell them in 2017?
Yeah, facts.
There wasn't that much. Like, it took a little more time to get there. But I realized, oh, no, you guys just really love this team so much.
Dog.
I didn't know it was possible. Like, for you playing for them, that had to be like a landing point early. Like, oh, wow, they really love this team.
Yeah, but most people don't embrace that part of it.
Yeah.
Most guys don't embrace that part of it. Like, if you embrace that, you good. Like, now you know how to fucking operate because you know A lot of times it's just passion. Like this motherfucker's just passionate up here. So you don't get into it with the fans and all of that shit because you know, all right, I respect that. I respect your passion. But for so long, it was y'all New York Knicks fans was held as the students of the game with the highest IQ of the game. They the fans with the highest IQ. When you're a fan, when you're a player, you start going against that because now it's like, oh, now you think you smarter than me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you think you fucking know. I'm on this side.
I really do this.
I'm really doing it. So that could be the clash a lot of times. But New York fans, man, like you said, they very optimistic. So as a player, I knew what was going on. I knew I had to embrace that.
Now, did you grow up a Knicks fan?
No, but my family, my household was all Knicks and St. John's.
Okay.
So it was like,
Gotcha.
Brooklyn, New York, Red Hook, it was all 80s, 90s.
Okay.
They was Knicks and St. John.
Got it. Because I got to ask you, I will always remember this when you were trying to get yourself to the Knicks. And the argument that one of the big things is you wanted to get back to your birthplace. And it was always very difficult for me to reconcile that with that West Baltimore tattoo
that's
that
a
you
fact.
had right
that's
there.
a fact.
And I was just kind of like, hey,
That's a
man, I
fact.
know you just want to go there, dog. But and then when you got here, it was like, welcome home. And I was like, he said he was from Baltimore, man. So I just always wondered how that went together.
That's a fact. So the thing, I wasn't going to New York. Like at this time, I was heavy Denver. Like it was like I was going Denver, Baltimore. Like it was back and forth. New York was more summertime, come here, week, stay, move around and go. When I wanted to come to New York was like, I saw the opportunity of New York as a whole. Cause I'm like, oh shit, like New York needs something. They need a very particular type of person and player to come in that New York to get that done. Where was they at? So I looked at the landscape. We talked about looking at the landscape of other teams. So I'm like, all right, if this was to happen, all right, the energy is back. New York is back. Amari is here. Ray and them, they got the shit rolling in here in New York. The lights is bright here and now in New York. So I'm like, yo, I see opportunity in New York. They got a point guard with Ray. They had Amari. They had Gallinari at the time. And I'm like, oh, and they had D'Antoni. So I'm like, oh shit, I know the system. I know that he want to play fast. He want to get up and down. I'm going over there. That's where I want that. I want Broadway. And that's where the New York thing came. As far as me coming back and embracing the whole New York thing, it wasn't until I came back where I really felt like, okay, this is home. Like this is what home really feels like. Yeah, I grew up in Baltimore. Like that's why I learned how to survive. I learned how to get to it in Baltimore. Like that's why that's on my chest, West Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? So that was the difference.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I embraced the New York situation when I came back, although I was already young trying to figure it out in Baltimore. So I was always back here in the holidays and back in Brooklyn and Red Hook during the summer and running around New York. So it made it feel like I was New York heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? East Coast heavy, because I was going back from New York to Baltimore and then I'm shooting to Denver. Like,
yeah. But and you had a real New York name, right? Like it's dawned on me, we normally do the show on Friday with Dominique Fossworth. I forgot to mention that, but we got somebody else from Baltimore in the chair, so it all works out,
absolutely.
right? But that was like I could see aesthetically how it landed, like, oh, okay, New York, this makes sense. But I was just there like, oh, man, come on, man, he just want to play for the Knicks, baby. It's cool, it's cool. But it was, it's interesting comparing to this era of the Knicks now where you wanted to play for the Knicks. Like that job could be a monster, you wanted it. Jalen Brunson, little did we know, he wanted the same exact job. We just thought he wanted to play for the Knicks, and now he done shown up and he is like, nah, I'm doing this.
Absolutely.
He's the mayor, dude. Like I can't explain that to people that, like, when the Knicks are rolling, the city's a lot happier, and being the dude behind the Knicks when it's rolling, I can't imagine anything being more fun than that.
And that's what I always say. I always give Melo his props because when he came over, like he said, like the situation was perfect for him.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect. It was perfect for him.
It was a perfect opportunity.
You know what I'm saying? So
when you was looking at other landscapes, it was like, okay, you got those guys down there. They about to, they you know what I mean? They got they big 3, big 4 down there. You got this team over here. You got Lakers out west. I'm already out west, right? So we ain't doing it. We ain't building it back up. Like we gonna have a couple down years. So I'm gonna make my situation to where I'll see myself being in a situation for these next 5, 6, 7 years. Like That's how I looked at it. So coming to New York that was easy.
That to me, that was it. It was like, yo, he's coming for the long haul, and this is the Knicks, B. There's a lot of expectations. The lights is bright. You know when Amari's a star in his own right, but Carmelo Anthony's Carmelo Anthony. So it's like when you come in, it's automatically we talk about the white hat, like the guy on the team. You know what I'm saying? You come in, you're automatically the white hat. Bro, the intro, I remember the first game, I'm coming home, the video, all this shit.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a lot of pressure, bro. And to do that, and like, bro, if you think about it, the closest we've been to the success that we got now was that 2012, 2013 team, scoring champ, Tyson Chandler, defensive player of the year, J.R. Smith, 6th man of the year, beat the Heat 3 out of 4 times. You know what I'm saying? And then
Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
That's the New York shit.
Why did you do that? 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 Why did you do that?
You know what I'm saying?
3 out of 4 times in the regular season.
In the regular
And the
season,
reason
bro.
I have to jump in, because one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to the Knicks is won that game in the playoffs to cut it to 3-1.
Yeah.
And balloons and confetti fell from the ceiling. And I was like, look at these motherfuckers. That's what I was like, this is why we talk about
look,
y'all.
it's been a minute. But then listen, the only thing that fucked that up was Roy Hibbert. I don't know, man. That motherfucker must have woke up and said, I'm going to be Shaquille O'Neal for 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. But that team was a solidly constructed team where everybody had their role. You had Steve Novak with the, you know what I mean, with the corner threes, automatic, like, and it was just a good team. It was a fun team to watch. They were competitive, you know what I'm saying? It was 55 wins, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Since then, you know what I mean? Today, Jalen, Julius, you know what I'm saying, get better soon, you know what I'm saying? We here for you. But that team, this team now has been the closest to that team.
They give that energy though, like as far as the togetherness. Like this Knicks team is very.
It's the
together.
kind of team this city likes.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
It's that hardworking team, hardworking players. Like it ain't really Jalen Brunson is making himself into a star, a superstar, right? It's everybody's hard-nosed workers on that team. It's perfectly built, a defensive team, athletic guys who can switch off, guys who don't need the ball to be effective. But also the most important part is they like each other. They fuck with each other. You see 3-4 of them outside together. You know what I mean? They moving around. They doing shows together. They doing this together. And that was what our team had. When we went on the road,
The Knicks tape
was on the road. We was outside. The Knicks tape was outside.
Y'all had a collection of humanity on that team.
Oh
too.
my God, the
Melo,
personalities,
Schultz,
man.
Swish,
We had older guys like the vets, the Sheeds and the Kurt Thomases and the Jason Kidds and who else was on that? The Kmarts and the Ron Art, the Meta World Peace.
Yes,
That was one group. Then you had the middle group who was like Tyson, Amari, myself, JR. Then you had like Pablo Prigioni. He was up there with them. And then you had the young boys, Shump.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think we had Chris Copeland was on that team. Steve Novak was on that team. Like we had levels of different type of personalities on that team. James White was on that team, I think.
Yep.
I think James White was on that team.
What NBA Caucasian archetype was Steve Novak giving you? Like I know he was given the belt, but there's a sociology and cultural interplay with our homies.
The player count.
Yeah, like he wasn't toward the Isaiah Hartenstein lane, even though we know Isaiah Hartenstein is more of an Isaiah than a Hartenstein.
Yeah, no, for sure, definitely. He's in the paint like, fuck out of here.
Look, man, I didn't know. I can tell people I didn't know if he was Isaiah or Hartenstein. Then I found out he was really kind of both.
He's like 4 rebounds away from being a Zeke.
I told people I've actually only been to one game at Madison Square Garden because I refused to pay those prices. Like they just now good enough for me to think about paying those prices. Me and Roy Wood went. It was an October game against the Hornets last year, and the crowd had not heard that Hartenstein was an Isaiah because they was so excited every time he got anywhere near the rim. He going for a shot, you hear. They were just hoping he'd get that bucket, right? Just hoping. But he'll go hard. Like him and Mitchell Robinson nothing is more fun in the NBA than a salt and pepper big man combination with like goofy senses and humors. Yes, the Dudley Boys. That's exactly it. That is it. But this city, like the relationship the Knicks have with it, like the other thing I didn't realize about it was, when you think about it, it's the only team that the whole city has, right? Like, with all due respect to the Nets, man, fuck out of here. Like, that's not, like, the people I find rooting for the Nets are from New Jersey or moved in from out of town and they could get cheaper tickets, right? But the Knicks is like the one unifying thing that makes this place go. And so the playoffs are going to be interesting because Julius Randle's not playing, although there's blessing and curse that kind of comes with that, right? If the Knicks get this another trip, go a little deep, get some wins.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. To me, it's like, as a Knicks fan, I could be a delusional Knicks fan. But for the most part, I'm like, yo, listen, I want my Knicks team to be like motherfucking Patagonia stock, B. You know what I mean? I want slow, steady growth. You know what I mean?
What an analogy to throw out.
You know what I mean?
And that's what you're getting right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. They building the team the right way.
So y'all not getting greedy. You're not getting greedy.
No. I'm not. I'm not one of them dudes like, yo, trade every pick and JB and Dante for Spider. Nah, I'm not one of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? Or like, yo, whoever the big free agent is, like, yo, throw everybody at him for this guy. I don't think like that. I'm like, Wes has proven that he knows how to work. You know what I mean? The free agency, the draft, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, bro, cook. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, you just mentioned Dante. Steve Novak. He like Dante. He ain't going all the way to Dante land.
No.
Dante got a little more bounce.
Ain't nobody going all the way to Dante land.
Nah, he ain't Dante. He ain't Dante.
Y'all don't know if y'all know Dante since he was in college. Right? We looked up, I was like, Dante with an O, he white Dante.
Yeah,
Everybody call him white Dante, that's me. We started
dog.
that. Because I watched that game and then I saw him out on the podium after. I was like, oh, he one of those.
Yeah, nah, Steve wasn't that.
Yeah, he got
Steve. He's Steve.
He's Steve.
The white dudes that stay white dudes in the NBA, I'm fascinated by them.
Steve.
Like the ones that maintain they roots. Yeah. I'm like, how did you do that?
Steve went through the battles though. With Steve Novak went through battles in practice with us, Chad.
I can hear him, bro.
He was holding that, talking shit, popping his shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you had to in that environment. Like that environment, we was talking big shit in practice.
Shit. And I seen it. Like you can see like the lip reading and shit. I could see Steve Novak being like, fuck you, dude. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here, bro. Boom. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He's like, I gotta do something, man.
Yeah, I got something. I got
something.
Got the fucking phone joint. You know what I mean?
To the dome, hold my phone.
You know what I'm saying? That was a fucking entertaining ass team,
dude. Shump, I met Shump in Austin at South by Southwest, and I had to tell him, and he mentioned this. He somehow mentioned it. He was doing a live podcast. I could never get a clear picture of in college what kind of game he had because I lived in North Carolina, and Carolina offered him a scholarship but said that Larry Drew would start over him, and he ate their asses up in a way where I knew it was about this game, and I don't know how good he is because right now he looks like Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
like I had to tell him that. He was just like, no, they said they was gonna give Larry Drew a scholarship over me, and I was not going for that shit.
He said, looking for revenge.
Oh, every time, every time.
And he took all that energy from that team that first year. Like he took all the energy that was given from every personality on that team, along with his personality. Like he's a big personality.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Because we had the dynamic of that team, we was able to kind of mold that energy. You get what I'm saying? But still let him be who he was.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be rah-rah? We don't let you be rah-rah. We need that from you.
You want rap? God, do
right?
your thing.
So that right there just was building, and then the next year he came back as ready to tear something up the next year. But that energy around what he was around in that locker room and on the road and learning the game and understanding the game from different levels of different people. Like rookies don't get that coming into the NBA. Young players don't get that, to have a team dynamic with that much experience from different levels of player throughout their career.
He says that shit all the time. Like when he does interviews and shit, he gives you your flowers all the time. He's like, yo, Melo's one of the illest vets I ever played with.
Not even for me. I'm saying from what we created around, we talking about culture in the locker room and culture in the arena, and it started to spill out onto the court and spill out to the fans, to the point where y'all was talking Knicks tape.
Oh, that was it.
Well, let me ask you this, though, because I think a lot of people, when they start talking about like positive culture or locker room culture, for whatever reason, that is not something that people readily associate you with.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Right. How do you feel about that?
I hate it. But well, I just want to know where it comes from. Like, where the fuck does that come from? Like, if your players, if your comrades ain't saying nothing about that, if you're a coach, you know what I mean, your assistants ain't saying, the people that you with every single day, if the staff ain't talking about it, if the training staff ain't talking about it, if the people who clean up the locker room ain't talking about it, the chefs ain't talking about it, where is it coming from?
From a distance, and I acknowledge it's a distance, it seemed like, and I think people say this about Kevin Durant too, again, from a distance, that you balled and you did what you were doing basketball-wise, but you were not the person to say something about it. And then that's what people want. That is from the distance, I think, the perception that people
got
have.
that. I got people wanted me to like boast and brag on what I was doing, right? Instead of allowing other people to do it. Whereas at that time, it wasn't a lot of people that was doing it. So it was like, Melo, why you ain't defending yourself? Why you ain't bigging yourself up? I just never was who I was. Like, I knew who I was. I know what the fuck I was doing. I know when I step on that, what's the conversations. I know what's happening in them opposing locker rooms. I know the scouting. I know all of that. So I really cared about more so of that than thinking about some whole other shit.
You think it would have gone different for you, though, if maybe you came into the league a little older? And the reason I ask that is, like, you were a freshman in college, and even if you're the man in college, you still got to get up to speed. And then you get to Denver, and you there with dudes like Kenyon and those cats who got big personalities on top of it, that it can be easier, I think some people might think, as a younger dude, to have those personalities do that, and then they put you in a position where all you got to do is hoop.
I think that's a great question. It was created that way, right? So when I first got there, it wasn't no big personalities. Like Marcus Camby was there. Marcus Camby not a big personality, right. You know what I mean? Like he come to work, do what he do, shot block, and talking shit here and there, but he's not a big personality. Andre Miller is not a big personality. Like
he's a personality.
He's a personality. He's not a big personality. Right. Earl Boykins wasn't. He's a big in his in his stature, but he's not a big personality. The only big personality we had on that team was Birdman, Chris Anderson.
Yeah,
that was the only big personality we had on the team. So when I came, Kiki Vandeweghe did a great job of looking at the landscape of like, okay, this is what the fuck I need to bring around this team. And Kiki was thinking of building a tough team. He wanted toughness. He wanted power forwards who was athletic. And he knew out of everybody who was on the market, he wanted Kmart. He wanted Kmart. And he was willing to pay Kmart that bread. At that time, where everybody was like, okay, Kmart, why they paying him this money? Why they giving him that? He leaving Jersey. This, like, it was a lot of shit being talked about Kmart coming. But we was building the pieces of what we really needed. And I understood that to an extent as a young player. I know where I come from. I need a dog. I need toughness. I need killers. Kmart coming, hell yeah. All right, J.R. Smith want to leave the Hornets, hell yeah.
Let's go.
I know what Shorty can do. I just watched him in high school. I just watched the McDonald's game. I've seen him sporadically at the Hornets. I know what's going on. And we got Andre Melo, who's one of the top point guards at this point in time, who Earl Boykins was doing. So we built that situation over there, like, intentionally. So to a point where I could just come hoop, to your point. Like, I'm coming to hoop. I'm still 19, 20. I'm still learning how to be around this environment. I'm still being cool. I'm still doing what I do, and still got to go win and try to lead, not a team, an organization. So I understood that. And the reason those guys surrounded me like that and embraced me like that, like, we ain't gonna let you, we got you. It was because they understood that I was embracing it, but I was embracing it too much. Like, we can't let you embrace all of this at one time. So we gonna separate this. We gonna keep you away from this. We gonna let you do this. You just go hoop, you go score, you go do this, you go do that. And that's what it was.
A bit of a detour, because it dawned on me. I don't even know if you remember when this happened, but were you there that day that JR put the popcorn in Kenny Martin's car?
Team. Yo. We was on the team.
I did not hear it.
We was talking about that. That was right some there, crazy.
That's the epitome of who he was.
Hold on. You got to tell the people what happened with this.
That's who it was. Like, it was, anybody can get it.
So for those who are unaware of this, as a prank that I myself would not have tried to pull off, J.R. Smith loaded up Kenny Martin's car. It was actual popcorn, right? Not like styrofoam, but actual butter popcorn in his brand new car.
Yeah, it was the arena popcorn. the big yellow bags and all that.
And as I recall, it went with Kenny Martin exactly as you would expect once he discovered that this had happened.
Yeah, Kenny came on wanted to kill him, man. That's you know what I mean. I came on wanted to kill him, man.
I don't have that kind of courage.
Came on,
Dog, out of all the motherfuckers on that team, I might have tried it with Earl.
Nah,
No.
You can't control like at that point in time. Like Kmart was once he go. Like once he get there, he goes, and it ain't no. You got to be somebody who he really trusts and really fuck with to like be able to step in the middle of that. Because once he goes, he goes.
I'm not the one getting in the middle. I can't imagine.
Like
I would not have that
like
much trust in the trust that I had built.
Yeah, like there was that incident, like the popcorn incident was when I seen him like smoke coming out of his ears and shit.
Yeah, see?
And then it was a situation where we playing the Clippers in the playoffs with George Carl, not with the coach, with the Nuggets. And Kmart was coming back off an injury that year, and we playing Elton Brand and Sam Cassell, and you know what I mean? Like this when the Clippers was. So George promised him, just sit out, come back to playoffs. I got you. Come back first game. We gonna give you a couple minutes, see where you at. Second game, we gonna. So he looking. First game, it's cool. Second game, starting Francisco Elson. Third quarter come, he ain't in. It's just like. Kmart loses it. Like it was a lot more going into that, but he is on the end of the bench and he's just
steaming.
And you see this shit. And fucking halftime goes in the back, loses it. Curse everybody out. Fuck out of here. Coaches, players, anybody got something to say. It's whatever. Get his shit and leave. This halftime, he's leaving. Fuck, they win the playoffs. He fucking leave. I said, oh, this is serious. This is serious. But I seen it brewing. I seen it on the sideline brewing. I knew what was happening. Like, it was a reason to be tight. You know what I mean? It was a reason for him to be tight, but he boogied. He left. I said, oh, shit, somebody go get this nigga. Please go grab him. Please go grab this guy. How you leaving in the playoffs?
Yo, that's crazy.
Nah, but that's to your point, like that was a team and a culture that we actually created over there in Denver.
Let me tell you about Kenny Martin, my man over here from Dallas. Unfortunate for him. But he was asking like why I'm so hard on Dallas. And I will have you note that when I did Gil's Arena, there were no Dallas jokes to be told. Not in the presence of Kenny Martin, no sir. Dallas is Paris as far as I'm concerned, if Kenny Martin says so. Like, nah.
So why would I have to do something? Like if I'm creating a team, I want that. I need somebody that's going to protect my best player. But you also got to stand on you know what I mean? But I need somebody when shit hit the fan it's a lot of shit that as the white hat don't really want to deal with. And a lot of times, they just shy away from it. So you need those kind of hitmen, like, you know what I mean?
How many of them are left?
None. UD was one.
Yeah, UD was one. I mean, and I guess, like, does Isaiah Stewart count?
Nah, he too young. He ain't been doing nothing.
Yeah. As I say, if he can stick around long enough, right? It's the Black Thought ride, right? Learn the rules, little homie. You could be one too.
That come with experience too, though. You know what I mean? That come with experience. Like you just can't get that title. Like,
no, my belief that the NBA was a little better when not everybody was good at basketball. I understand why that may seem counterintuitive.
You knew your role. You knew your role.
Yep. Just somebody.
You didn't play outside yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like now you got motherfuckers. Everybody's like, yo, I'm gonna drop 50 tonight. Fuck that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they can.
No, when you're not that good at basketball, you got to figure out other ways to earn your keep. And those are typically very entertaining techniques that keep everybody out here. Like I was looking at, my man Till pointed this out. We were looking at like one of those the heat maps for like where all the shots go, the difference between now and 20 years ago. And what you see is that the mid-range game is completely gone. It's completely gone because they ain't nobody, the elbows in the paint are just not there anymore. Like if everybody could just get one enforcer on every team, we'd have much more shot diversity than we used to be.
That's
one dude that you don't want no
problems. I told you that's what they told me when my first game back with Portland. He's like, Melo, no, that bully ball shit is out.
I remember you at the game in Houston when you said my bad after you shot a mid-range shot.
What?
Yo.
What was that like though? There was a
crazy,
paradigm
bro.
shift that took place in the middle of your career, and you became a 40% three-point shooter. So it's not like you didn't adjust, but the paradigm changes in the middle of your career about the thing that is your thing.
With the shift, you felt the shift though. Like you felt the shift because conversations in the offseason is a lot different now. It's we gonna switch our offense up. We want to shoot this many threes. We want to, this make more sense than that. And it's you sitting there and it's just, I hear you. You know what I mean? But then it's happening in quick time, right? And then you playing teams who's already adjusted to that.
And be real, how much listening were you trying to do at that point? Because at that point, you Carmelo goddamn ass.
Not for that style of game, right? It wasn't just like thrown at. It wasn't just like this is what we're gonna do. It was slow drip. Like it was like, all right, nah, Melo, nah, okay, nah, yo, corner. We want you in the corner now. We want you to shoot threes. We want you to. So I'm like, damn, like okay. You start seeing the shift slowly start to happen, and the conversations happening in practice. Off-season strategies is different. You come back training, and now it's faster. So me being away from that game for that amount of time, I didn't watch the game. So my first game back, I'm just going back to what I know. But I know the game has changed. I know it's more threes now. And I'm like, oh shit, fuck it. Let me just do an early post up. Let me just duck in an early post up. And I went up, offensive foul. And I'm like, what the fuck? Then I came down again, like in the post. They threw it to me in the ISO, and I'm backing down. Boom. No, man, that bully ball, no more bully ball. Them days are over. This is a ref. A referee told me that.
That's crazy.
I don't want to say his name because I fuck with him. I respect him. But he's like, oh, Melo. He's like, you've been gone. The game has changed. And I was like, holy shit.
Who did that, though? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, everybody'd be like, yo, Steph Curry, the Warriors, but was it really them? Because
yeah, of course.
I think they did part of it.
Because I feel like that shift started before them.
Nobody was
the
shooting
NBA,
like that.
but I think the NBA misunderstood something. They understood that people like offense.
Yeah.
But points and offense are not the same thing. And so when you do all this stuff to increase points, we started looking at it and we're like, yo, man, this ain't even really offense, right? Like, that's why when we did the other episode, we talked about the best offensive performance, and I protested. The deck stacked.
He saved it for his shit.
I'm staying on this shit,
He
bro.
saved it for his segment over here.
I ain't doing, no, it's like, but I ain't doing it, right? Because it's just like points and offense are not the same thing. Like, to me, offense, especially I guess growing up watching 80s and 90s basketball before the rules changes, there's an art to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's an art to being 17 feet away with your back to the dude in the phone booth and like, the things like like all those things there. Basketball is aesthetic as much as anything else, right? And so I think that people like that. They like the physicality. I think what happened was, though, offense got so good, these motherfuckers just clotheslining people. Like it went a little too far.
Fuck that, no layups.
And then we went back the other way, but I don't think people want points. I think people want offense.
Which is why they like the college game. Like, which is why they love women's basketball. Like the girls' game, because they have offense.
Yep.
And I hate to always compare the two, but when you talk about the purity of it, I always talk about it. That's why. To your point, people want to see offense, especially people who came from those eras. Like the fans of the game who come from those eras where you know what it takes to draw up a play and go execute that play. And I want to get Patrick Ewing the ball on this block, and we're going to run a misdirection play to get him a cross screen on this block. Like, that's what we want to see. We want to see what makes a two guard, a shooting guard, a shooting guard. Like, if you're a Reggie Miller type, I want to see you get your shot. I want to see what you're going to do, the work you're going to put in. If you were a Chris Paul or a Darren Williams at the time, I want to see what makes you a really good point guard. Now, you don't have to prove that anymore. All you have to do is know how to play a pick and roll or come off the pick and roll and be able to shoot the tray.
That's it.
The read is downhill. Like, that's the read. There's no more point guards coming off and already knowing the read that they really want. The first option. There's no more of those Chauncey Billups where, like, I got to learn, my best player on the team ain't touched the ball in a couple possessions, or he ain't, you know what I mean? Like, I got to get him going. How do I get him going? How do I get this player shots? Like, there's no more of that. It's just high-powered guards that's out there getting to it. I love to watch it.
Yeah.
But to your point, when you start talking about the game and running offense and executing, and that's why in the playoffs, a lot of guys be kind of lost in that when you got to execute plays. And you got the timing is everything, and angles is everything, and the screen is you gotta execute. You be lost.
Exactly what you said, man. It's the difference between offense and points. You got dudes dropping 70 on straight, like Melo saying, straight downhill, step in your chest. Next position, straight downhill, step in your chest. Next possession, Hezzy pull 3, 3 times in a row. Now you got 7 threes, that's 21 points. You know what I'm saying? Which used to be like a superstar average.
And if I'm shooting a midi as a coach, as a team, I'm looking at analytics like, yo, they shooting threes, you shooting twos. Like that shit is not adding up right.
That shit don't
I'm
add
like, yo, take the best shot available. That's what I take the best shot available.
Right.
And whatever happens, happens. But the analytics saying the 3 is better than the 2. And in all actuality, it is.
Coming up next, we're going to sell some stuff right quick. But we're going to come back, talk a little bit about the playoffs coming up. 7 p.m. is the right time. Talk to you in a second. The NBA playoffs are right around the corner. Get in on the playoff action and win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks as you and the world's best players take the game to a new level during basketball's postseason. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000 with basketball, hockey, and baseball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. And if you stick around for the end of the show, you'll hear picks from our producer, Sean, that could potentially help you win big. Prize Picks is really simple to play. You can make your picks and submit your entry in less than 60 seconds. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and enormous selection of players and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. So make sure you go to prizepicks.com/Bomani and use code Bomani for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/Bomani. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Spring is here, so get ready for the sunshine with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays offers a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. They have plenty of styles and colors to pick from, so finding your next pair of shades is a breeze. Plus, if your shades go MIA or take a hit, don't sweat it. They've got lost and broken protection, so you're covered from day one. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. If you don't love your shades, exchange or return them free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code Bomani for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized glasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. All right, man, the playoffs are starting. This is my favorite time of the year. Like, this is Christmas for me. I don't know where I get the sleep. Like, I remember I used to do morning radio, and me and different guys on the show would have to do shifts on who got to sleep, because otherwise we'd all be up until 2 o'clock in the morning and then getting back up at 7.
You see me sitting up, Bo, right? Oh, yeah. You see me sitting up as a Knicks fan, sitting up.
I call this, Charm season, where you wake up and you turn on your TV, and it's on Charm from TNT being on the night before. Like, this is it.
Infomercials, man.
Yes, it is it. I admit, I'm not that, you Knicks guys got you. We already talked about them, though. Outside of the East, not that compelling to me right now. The West.
Going crazy.
100% fascinating. Even though I am positive I know who's going to win the West.
Who you got?
Denver.
Why don't we don't treat them like they're champions?
They are champions.
They are the champs. They have everything that made them the champs, including the best player in the world. Yeah. And nobody's stopping him. I don't think anybody's beating them.
You got to go through Denver.
Yeah, you got to go through Denver. But the problem is swag. Like, this is America, B. We want our stars to be flashy, entertaining.
Look,
you know what I'm saying?
You're right. Look, if Michael Porter wasn't wearing all them devices just to play, he would be that guy, right?
That's
I don't think people appreciate what he physically overcomes just to get on the floor. He would be that guy. Jamal Murray can be that guy at times. Yeah, but you're right. Their best players just... I am unstoppable.
You cannot stop.
You cannot.
You can try, but you cannot stop.
Brother, I have 47 points.
You have My friend, it is third quarter. I have 58. Look at my brother over there. He is 6'5", 12. He weighs 16,000 kilograms.
6'5", 12.
Brother, listen. You may have. I will win this game, and I will bet you 2 of my horse. And that's all he's on, bro. You know what I'm saying? He ain't at the club popping bottles.
You have to go through Denver, bro. You have to.
Yo, it's that top 4 is so interesting because the thing to me about if the question is why do you pick Denver, the answer is who in the world are you going to pick otherwise, right? Minnesota gave them the best run last year. They made a few things break right. Maybe they're the ones that figure out how to do it.
We talk about the curve all the time. Ant-Man being one of those guys that's like in that that S tier, bro. Like you could be the guy that is the face of the league. We talk about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be his moment, bro. It's take hard. Denver out.
It's hard, bro.
It's almost an impossible.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible. It's almost, but it would be such a crazy look for him.
It could happen
in his career. That I feel like that would be the curve for him to be like, all right, is it?
Yeah, because you really have to beat Denver.
All of
them. You really have to beat them. Like as a team, as a unit, as a staff, like you really have to come to play every play of the game, every second of the game for 7 games. And so if you're not ready to go with the ebb and flow of this series, and then when it's time to, if it gets there, if you can't handle that, and if you can't make those adjustments, you have to make those adjustments. Like, it's all about those adjustments.
Yeah. Because, I feel like Oklahoma City just too light in the ass. Like, it's not their fault. They're going to need to, and they will because they have draft picks out the waz, and they got young players. Like, they're going to be a problem for a long time, but this ain't the year.
They're a fun team. They're a fun team.
This is like a undergrad for them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. Like, yo, you're going to learn some shit, and then you're going to come back next year better, smarter.
When Skinny King Chet fully gets this thing going, baby, it's gonna be a problem.
Listen, man.
Like I think Big Vic has obscured the fact that Chet has absolutely delivered. He has absolutely been. I'm so ready for it.
And he got the sauce too. He's one of them. He's one of them guys. He's not swaggerless, bro.
Yeah.
He got a lot of sauce to his
tough,
game,
man. That West is tough, bro. That West is tough.
Tough,
it is.
Bro.
It is. I mean, look, we haven't gotten to the Clippers. We all know what the issue is. We can none of our advanced X's and O's matter. The only thing that matters is James Harden gonna fuck it up for everybody. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. We have seen him do it. We've seen him carry teams like that that last year series with Philly, where he had 2 games without Embiid, where he said, "Get on my back," and he did it.
I'm cooking.
And then it was that last one, and it was like, "Hey man, who wanna go? Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Hey, my booth ready. Yo, nah, but
they the team to me that can
get hot and
like
go.
They have the pieces to do it.
I feel like you can count on more than anybody else in the playoffs other than Jokic. And maybe right there, it's Kawhi Leonard, quietly all-time great postseason.
Yeah.
He's a 50, 40, 90 dude.
Dog.
They have the pieces.
100%. And it's just
like who else is in the West?
What are you saying? Gelling.
Oh, so Sacramento, who we've completely forgotten about after being everybody's darling last year.
Yeah.
Dallas and whatever.
They scary though.
Dallas is
scary.
Hey, can I send a shout? I've said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. Can I send a shout out to Kyrie? Because I really did not think that he could behave himself. And I hate to say that like that because he's a grown up, but it got kind of crazy, right? Yeah. I didn't think that it could be so quiet all the way through this year.
He been flying under the radar balling.
It's a humanitarian crisis going on over there, and he's still acting right.
Peace. When you find
you find that peace?
You find your peace.
See, here we go.
Peace guy.
Kyrie and J. Cole out here. Like,
when you find your peace, nothing could disrupt that.
Tell you, I saw that man in the post game with the scarf over his head, and I was like, oh, nah.
Uh-oh.
He is at peace.
No. I was afraid when I saw that because I thought he was about to start talking.
Oh, no.
Hey, I guarantee you. There was a conversation. Somebody, I don't know if it was Joe Dumars. I don't know if it was Nico down there with the Mavericks, but somebody came in and was like, hey, man, look, it's a lot going on in the world right now. And I know you feel like you got to do something.
I don't even think that conversation needed to happen. They already knew what time it was. He set the tone already. You don't even come over here. Like, don't even come over here to me.
Right.
Let me do what I do. Let me find my
And he's
piece,
done it.
That's it.
and I'm cool.
And he's done it. He's
How
just a
much of that was
Shout out
Luka,
to
though?
Kai for that, man.
How much of that is
Well,
Luka?
how about this? I want to give Kyrie credit for the fact that I was not sure how willing he would be to ride shotgun to anybody really at that point, but to Luka Doncic. And he did it. Like, and I was hard on the dude, right? Like, I feel like it's imperative if I was as hard as I was on him in those times to look at it and be like, nah, he's done it. And two dudes that you can't guard in the playoffs.
It's them two. They scary. They scary.
Super.
Even like Kyrie is like, I think he matured enough, like to the point where like he was younger in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? And like he was coming up, and Brown was already in, and he was trying to find his way and be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now he's been through the ringer. He's been, you know what I mean? Been to a couple situations. Now he found the situation where it's comfortable. I'm happy. I'm good. I ain't got to worry about. I done went through the worst shit ever.
Right.
I done went through it. So now everything is up for me. All I gotta do is just focus and get back on my dean and just play basketball.
Right.
The reason why I work with Luka, because he's a basketball player. Like Kyrie's just a basketball mind. He just loved the hoop. He loved the game. And if it's somebody else at this point now who can go out there and do the same thing, he gonna do it. He could have went somewhere else. He could have went somewhere else. He could.
Oh, definitely.
You understand what I'm saying? He could have been over there in purple and gold, like in other situations. He chose Dallas because Dallas chose him. Mark Cuban did a hell of a thing by bringing him in and saying, "Hey, I got you. I'm gonna give you this platform. You got to meet me somewhere, but I'm gonna give you this platform. We're gonna have tough conversations, but I'm gonna give you this platform to go out there and do what you want to do."
You know, this is the craziest thing about, we're talking about the West, so it fits with them, but like the craziest thing about the league right now, when you just talk about the overall level of talent, Phoenix has all the dudes that they have.
Yeah.
The Lakers have Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
Who AD is having a hell of a year.
Yes,
Yo.
and LeBron is still, I mean,
Producing.
he's not as good as he used to be, and I don't think he's as good as his numbers, but that does not mean he's not very good. Like, these dudes are still balling. Neither one of them teams got no chance at winning the West, and that's about the league, right? It's not even so much about them, but Phoenix, with all those dudes they got, and none of us think that they have a chance to win this. That's where this league is.
They got the pieces though.
They do.
That's what it is.
They got the pieces. Like,
And this is the type
I
of
do
shit-
believe Phoenix, like,
Bro, and this is not,
they got the fucking pieces.
and on some real shit, like, you know, NFL single elimination. This is feeling to me, it's giving NFL in the sense that if something break left for a certain team, they could get high and go on a run. You know what I mean? Like, you know, barring injuries, because you never want to see that.
Yeah.
But like just certain things breaking a certain way, certain calls breaking a certain, you know, playoffs, it's a possession game now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like clock management, possession, shit like that. So it's like, yo, a foul, a missed call, a loose ball, that type of shit determines the outcome of a game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Well, like you also get cases like Minnesota, right, where how healthy Karl Towns is going to be a thing, and
Right.
this is where I'm nice to Karl. Karl Towns is a better basketball player than Nas Reed.
play some merengue in the
Period.
background. Why you say this?
But he's a better player than Nas Reed, period. And so you can find those numbers that say that they are better with Nas Reed. But if Karl Towns, if this is the year that he steps up, which can happen, right?
Right.
You want a guy that can get buckets in the playoffs because the ability to create shots. Minnesota only got Anthony Edwards really as a guy that's like an elite shot creator.
Right.
Karl gives you a chance at that. If he gets healthy, right, it goes. Or if he can't play and the numbers, the on-off numbers carry out with Nas Reed, maybe that little nuance can affect what direction the West goes. Because in theory, if Minnesota's better than they were last year, then they can push Denver to 6 or 7.
And that's my shit. So like,
In theory.
In theory.
let's say in theory.
I know.
Because we also know the other problem, which is Jokic just go cook Rudy
Yeah,
like he
but
cooks
also
Rudy
it's
every
like-
time.
He gonna put
That's a lot of
he gonna put
pressure.
Rudy in the
Like,
Draymond.
that's a lot. That's a lot of pressure for Ant Edwards.
Yes. My favorite player on earth,
I love
by
him.
the way.
I love him, but that's a lot of pressure to go out there and try to take on a juggernaut like the Denver Nuggets by yourself.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that he's up for it.
He may be one of the only ones that's out there that's up for it to do
He
it
the,
by,
like, he
by
the
himself.
last one left, it
Right.
feels like. I know there's
Yeah.
other like sociopathic type dudes
Yeah.
out there. He's not even a sociopath because he seems to do well with people.
Yeah.
But he wanted.
He wanted.
Yeah.
I
He
want
really
to be
believed
better
that he
than
could
you.
knock them off.
Yes.
Like, he really believes. when you going up against a juggernaut, man,
it's
and I just don't think people appreciate that that's what it is.
Yeah, it is.
It is a legitimate look. If Aaron Gordon is your fourth best player, fourth best player.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like that they built that team to be Teflon, bro. Like, yo, this guy goes down, all right, this guy's gonna slide in and we're gonna be fine.
Plug and play.
Yeah,
that's it.
And our best player might be good for 100 years because he doesn't jump.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
you know what I'm saying? He ain't running suicides, bro. Like he's like,
but he be running past them dudes down the floor.
But that's IQ because he know when to turn it on. He know when to sprint. He know when to cool out. He know which way to go. Like he know how to do that.
I'm gonna ask you this as a basketball player because I noticed this about Jokic, and it's the most interesting thing is that he's the first player I'd ever seen who realized that after I've done the pump fake and you've gone past me, I don't have to be in a hurry.
Yeah.
Like, one less man, I can slowly walk into the lane.
Yeah.
I had never seen anybody that had that understanding of space and time.
That's IQ. That is just IQ, a feel for the game. Like, I don't know where the fuck he got that from. Like, that's hard to teach. You know what I mean? You just got to have a feel for the actual game and the flow of the game to understand, like, there's one less guy over here, and I'm looking at 4 guys in front of me.
Yeah.
I'm going to just pick this apart, right? So now what you start doing is putting systems in play for him to be able to work out of that position, up top of the key, up screens, back screens, curl, cuts. You know what I mean? I catch it, Aaron Gordon just going to the back, high, low to the lob. Like, it's a lot of shit that only he can play that position like that.
Right.
The damn shame they gave him Anthony Randolph's number.
No.
Actually, no. The reason I say that, though, because I know the discussion is always, damn, they gave Jokic your number.
Yeah, they did.
No, the crazy part is that they gave it to Anthony Randolph.
That's a fact.
That's the point I'm making. That's the crazy part.
I know the underbelly of what you say.
Yeah. No, like I say, like if they had given it to Jokic way later, it would have been like, come on, man, this is crazy. Because the idea of like retiring your jersey is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like there's no, but when I found out they had given it to Anthony Randolph already, I was like, oh, this is petty.
Yeah, I keep trying to say that the static is with Anthony Randolph.
Tony somewhere like, why man?
Yo, let me tell you what Anthony Randolph is. A dude that wants to jump in the time machine and come play in today's basketball. Because he was just too skinny to play then.
He would play well in today's game.
Because he went over to Europe and was stone cold beast, right?
Hooping.
Just raw. Look, I'm here for all the skinny dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want them all to come back in this day and time. I wish John Henson could have stayed healthy. It would have been great. Every single one of them.
Copeland, I think Chris Copeland, he's another skinny dude, man. It was bowling out of
We ain't had no heroes when I was little. That's the thing that people don't understand. We didn't have no Kevin Durant when I was little. All we knew,
skinny guys?
Yeah. We had like Reggie Miller, but I mean,
Reggie was in the gym though.
Yeah, see, that was the other part too.
He was lean.
They wasn't confident in their skinny. I will also make this note too before we get out of here. People need to understand NBA skinny is not quite as skinny as people think. Because if you see a picture of me standing next to Kevin Durant, you will not be saying that Kevin Durant is skinny. Nah. He's like 240 something pounds.
He just finished 8 lobster tails. You know what I'm saying? Looking stout out here, bro.
Man, I have been wanting to pull off this epic crossover for a long time, like we've done with 7 p.m. is the right time, man.
Yes,
my man Mero,
hey,
I'm proud of you. Glad to see where you at. Melo, I appreciate you. Also, shout out to Melo, man. He ain't hit me with that left hand dap no more. I had to let him know. Lines were drawn in the sand, man.
All you gotta do is say it one time. I'm cool.
Let me tell you who I guarantee you also ain't going for no left hand dap. Anthony Edwards on Atlanta ass. I imagine like, if you tried to walk up to Anthony Edwards with the left hand, I can.
You can't. I won't never walk up to it with the left hand. That's in this position right here.
We have talked about this, that as much as everybody thinks the left hand dap is being disrespect, now one time in your life has anybody ever tried to disrespect you by offering left hand dap?
Shit.
It's an anecdotal tale, but it's never happened. So what we need to do is start finding people we don't respect and just roll up on them and be like.
But that's why you do it. You just give them the weak hand.
I call it the karate dap, where you just have somebody up like this, like.
Nah, not with the left, dog. Not with the left.
Just hit him with the. What would be worse than the karate dap though is if you just give him the dead fish.
See, that's the new generation handshake right there.
So
they don't look at you.
Yo, it's good. Yeah.
They say, "Yer."
I was like, yo, am I doing the wrong thing? Because it's 20 minutes when these kids get on the bus. Man. I'm like,
nah.
We at school, the teacher's looking at like,
They don't even
these
look at you when they
Martinez
dap
children
you
in
up.
the
Yo, so the Dap Masters going out of style? Like
Yeah.
they not.
nah, I got handshakes with all these
this.
motherfuckers.
You over
man.
here, they, yo.
Oh, the team? Yeah, no, they too cool.
Dude, I
They
can't
too
lie.
cool.
I
They
don't
too
know
cool.
what I would do if some 14-year-old didn't look at me when I.
Yeah.
That's why you stay in Ubers. That's why you stay in the Ubers. 'Cause they would definitely do it.
Dog, I want to bring Sir back. You know what I'm saying? I think we talked about this last time I was here. Fuck this Unk shit, man.
Yeah,
Whatever
Unk.
happened to Sir?
Unk is crazy.
I worked really hard
is
to get to
crazy.
where I am, but I have earned Sir status.
When they
Unk
hit
is
you with
crazy.
the Unk, it feel away, bro.
Yo, because they think it's cool.
Yeah,
They
and it
think-
ain't.
I remember Ava DuVernay once got mad and said that she didn't want to be called auntie, and I thought that she was being real disrespectful. And like I think she'd be real sensitive, right? 7 years later, I got a few more years under my belt, and I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, I ain't
Hey,
your Unk.
Unk, what up, Unk? And you're like,
Like your I feel like Unk is you respecting your uncle is optional. Like if he a good uncle, you respect him.
right.
But otherwise, you might just kick it with him, maybe smoke weed every now and then.
That's the one you don't respect.
Yeah. Nigga with 20 scratch offs on the shit like, and an empty bottle of crime. And shit like, you
With
just
an
sitting there
old
like,
white beat on.
yeah, old white beat. Oh, you human? How the ball? How going with the ball? You got in the office?
Let me hold something.
Let me hold. Yeah, you got in the office. I heard you had an office Syracuse. That's a good school up there. Big program.
See, that's Unk.
They
That's
got
Unk.
boosters.
Yeah.
Even the uncle,
I need a boost.
Even the uncle
need
that
a
you call,
boost.
even the uncle that you call a nickname, you respect more than the uncle you
that's
call
a fact.
Unk. Like my Uncle Will, but God rest his soul, we call him Black because he called everybody else Black. We respected Black. Calling him Black was not a sign of disrespect. But if I had called him Unk, Black would have flipped.
What?
I can't even get a second
You would have
syllable.
caught the black hand side.
That's a fact.
Yeah, like, get the
Blackout.
fuck-
Yeah, Black was very much so a kindness, not weakness.
facts.
Sort of dude. It'd have been there. But, fellas, I appreciate you greatly.
man.
And ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here on The Right Time. We do this 3 times a week. Hit the voicemail line, 323-596-7767. AMA, ask me anything, 323-596-7767. Sean, you handles everything behind the scenes. Thank you, sir, along with all these wonderful people whose names I don't know who are probably actually doing this today. Subscribe to The Right Time, or follow The Right Time. Rate us, review us, subscribe, like, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. We'll talk to you guys in a couple of days. Take it easy.